Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to a new edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. And to my far right, my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And
That's right,
today's
man.
special guest, we got a former East Carolina Pirate in the building. Yes,
Real
sir.
starter, man.
Yes, sir. Went to a couple of bowl games. Played with David Gerard, the 9-3 record in
Right.
1999. In Conference USA. He's from
Yeah,
Irmo,
put
South
in work.
Carolina. He's now coaching. He's been coaching for a few universities in NCAA.
Mhm.
Now he has his own off-season training fitness program. Today's special guest
Getting them
is
boys right.
Aaron Walker. What's
What's
going
going
on,
on?
Aaron?
What's up?
What's
What's
up,
up
fellas?
now?
What's up?
Yeah,
Thank y'all
man.
for
So glad
having me,
to
man.
have
I
you.
appreciate the invite, man.
Oh yeah.
No problem. For the people that don't know you, Aaron, let them know where you're from and a little bit about your background.
Born and raised in the Met, man, right here in Columbia, bro. I've actually back in Columbia now for about 3 years, but I was born and raised right here. Like you said, I played my high school ball at Irmo, and I'm actually back here coaching now. Um, do you want me to go ahead and go into like all the way in the resume, or just
Oh
kind of where
nah,
I'm
you
from?
you just a little. You could touch
Yeah,
up a little
whatever
bit of
you, whatever you
where
want
you
to do.
came from and a little
Okay, yeah,
your
man. Born and
background.
raised, like I said, born and raised in Columbia. Played at Irmo, 3-year starter while I was there. You know, all the accolades that go with that. Got my scholarship to East Carolina, like the little intro you had, which is beautiful. It was funny watching those pictures, man. Like
Took you back.
you was asking for pictures. It's funny, bro. I played in the '90s, man. They ain't take pictures like that of us offensive linemen, man. So I scrounged around, found what I could, but the
Yeah.
one shot was funny. You found me. I was cutting that dude. It was funny. I was just laughing. But
I
yeah, man.
saw it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
cutting the heck out of buddy. But nah, man. Yeah, like I said, born and raised right here in Columbia. Happy to be back, man. I'm actually coaching back at Irmo. Kind of giving back to where I'm from now. So it's awesome.
Yeah,
All
man.
right.
Hey,
Cool.
hey,
Cool.
so what age did you start playing sports, man? And what sport was your first love?
Uh, man, honestly, I always loved football, bro. Like I thought I was Lawrence Taylor. There was one point in my life when I thought
AOT.
yeah, it was one point in my life when I thought I was going to play basketball too. Once I saw Charles Barkley. Um,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I was a pretty good athlete, man. So I played everything. Like I always tell kids now, kids don't go out as much as we used to, and I know I we sound like old people when we say that, but the kids don't go out and play as much as we did, and whatever the season was, that's the sport I was playing. So during football, I thought I was
Yep.
Lawrence Taylor at one point until I realized I couldn't run as fast as he could. Like I said, I thought I was Charles Barkley until I realized I couldn't jump as high as he could, and heck, I
Yeah.
thought I could play baseball till I got hit twice in the same game, and that pretty much ended my
Woo,
baseball career.
tell you.
Oh man.
So,
What age did you play baseball?
I hung baseball up at 12. Yeah,
Okay.
at
Oh, okay.
12. Yeah, I got hit, man. But I still remember it. But it hit me twice in the same game. I was done after that. I was gun shy. I was it.
Wow.
It was a wrap for me.
And he was aiming towards the head or what?
Man, the first one hit me in the back. The second one hit me in the thigh. I was done. It was a wrap after that. It was a wrap. I was like, nah, I'm gonna go play. I'm gonna go play ball. I'm gonna go hit where I can hit
Yeah,
people. Nah, I ain't gonna stand in here and let them throw this ball at me.
I'm telling you,
For
man.
real.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Them
So
curveballs.
so
Mhm.
football was always your first love.
Mhm.
You said when the seasons changed, that's what ball you picked up.
Mhm.
Starting out with football, who was the guys that you model your game after, and what position did you play first?
Well, it was funny, man. Like I said, I thought I was LT until I realized I couldn't run as fast as he could. But I was always quick, in that 5 yards, I'm first five. I'm gonna get you now. It's what it is. So
Yep.
um I ended up being a pretty good D lineman. Like I said, um so I ended up playing D line and coming up, man, Warren Sapp was that dude, boy. Like I still remember him wrecking shop against Nebraska in the national
Hmm.
championship game. And I'm like, yo, yeah, that's that guy right there. And then in the NFL, one of my all-time favorite players that a lot of people don't remember, and he was just because he was big and light skinned, he was about that life. But it was a man, Sean Gilbert. And I don't know if y'all remember Big Sean Gilbert
Yeah, I
played for
remember
Green
him, Big
Bay.
Sean
Used
Gilbert.
to have the little sack celebration with the
Yeah,
shovel. That was my guy,
yeah.
man. So
Yeah.
yeah, those were a couple guys I really modeled myself, like I said, wasn't fast enough to be LT, but I was definitely tenacious and had that killer attitude like he had though.
Yeah. Hey, when you
Okay.
start playing offensive line, was it in middle school or when you got to high school?
I never played a snap of offensive line until I got to college. Like
Wow.
Coach Hannah would not let me play O-line in high school. Like I would beg to go play on both sides of the ball in high school because I mean, I was a pretty good player. So I felt like if I could play on the offensive line and help us out, I was willing to do it. But
Yeah.
his thing was always, we were at the time, Irmo was a Big 16 school, so we were one of the biggest 16s in schools in state. We don't need people to go both ways. Like that was a direct quote.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm bigger and better than them, coach. Let me let me do it. But I got to college my redshirt freshman year, and we had a guy that got in some trouble and wasn't gonna be free anymore, actually.
Wow.
And and so I was the most viable body basically, and they needed some depth at the offensive line. And this is one of those things. Some of the older guys kind of jokingly said it when I came in with my body type, and I wore number 77 by choice anyway. It's like, oh, you chose the O-line number anyway. You in trouble. Like so so yeah, it might have been predestined to happen. So I did not play a single snap of offensive line until my redshirt freshman year in college.
Wow.
What position you play in high school? What position?
I played pretty much three technique the whole time. Like our scheme was, I would go to the three. We had my really good nose guard, white guy by the name of Mark Roscoe, was really fast off the football. So he would play the nose. He would always go weak. I would go strong. And you got to pick who you want to go at. So
Okay.
Okay. So you played, the three technique on defense. You played that all your life. You got to high school, you mastered that. Talk about the coaches that develop you in your younger years for defensive line. Did you play in a Parks and Recreation, or was it just a summer program?
it's funny. I was always too big to play at the rec. Like I've been a humongous. I mean, I'm not
Hmm.
as big as I used to be, but I've always been a pretty large individual. So I was always too big to play on my weight class or my age group, I should say, at like Seven Oaks Park. So, and my mom wouldn't let me play up. So I didn't actually play organized football until seventh grade. Um, but I played, like I said, played baseball at the rec center, basketball, all that stuff. But so my first like real coach was actually my coach pretty much my whole time, Coach Strange, Mitch Strange. He's actually still coaching at I think he's still at Chapin. Um
Okay.
he may be retired now. I know he's retired from teaching. But he actually graduated from Irmo too, and really hard nosed dude, man. And I actually met him. He was actually my student teacher in 8th grade when he was just getting certified to teach. And again, it was one of those predestined things. I literally showed my behind in his class, and he caught me mooning somebody. I didn't pull my underwear down, but he caught me mooning. So it was kind of my introduction to the guy
Yeah.
who was going to be my D-line coach later on. So
Yeah.
yeah, that yeah. So
You gonna be crabbing a lot, a
oh
whole lot.
boy, yeah. He remembered me too. He remembered me. He remembered me when I came up because I actually made B team, which was 9th grade football as an 8th grader, and I actually played B team 2 years because I did not want to be a JV dummy. Did not want to do that. So at least that's
Yeah.
kind of what we called him anyway. So
Yeah.
um anyway, so yeah, he remembered me. He absolutely remembered where I was, and yeah, he reminded me real quick that it wasn't gonna be any more of that Shaw on my tail stuff. So
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Hey, what was your favorite technique you like to use on the D line?
I was a real big swim guy. Like I said, I would fast, punch my hands, extend, and I would swim, keep it tight so you don't get your sternum cracked.
You
And
got that right. Yeah,
that's
ain't
not as
for
popular as it once was, but
yeah.
yeah, I was real big on that, man.
All
And I was
right, cool.
quick off the ball too, like I said, I that lateral move and that 5 yards, I'm gonna get you.
All
All
right.
right. So going into high school, you started lifting weights, right? You're pretty big, for a 14-year-old. It's probably like the mid
Yes.
90s.
Mhm.
Talk about lifting weights for the first time, and what was your max your freshman year, and then your max your senior year.
I attribute all of my success to the weight room. My sophomore year of high school is when I started lifting weights.
Mhm.
Um, and I really took to squatting and cleaning. Like I really didn't like bench press. Derek actually benched more than me because I peaked at bench, bro. Like I got stuck in high school at bench, and it made me so mad. And to this day, I don't do anything 95. So like I got stuck at 295 in high school. My junior year of high school, I got stuck for like a year. Could not get over 295.
Mm.
Don't do it anymore to this day. Like when I still work out to this day a lot. I mean, I work out 5 days a week. If I got anything 95 as a warm up or part of a workout, I'm going up. I'm doing the round number, whether it's 4, 5, 3. I don't do 295, 395. 4. I don't do that. No. But I started lifting as a sophomore in high school. Coach Jack Curlings came in '93, my going into my sophomore year. They came in after Coach Tuberville retired my freshman year. New staff came in. Bob Hanna was the head coach. Jack Curlins was strength coach. And he did we man. I think like looking back, we pretty much did like the BFS program, like the bigger,
Hmm.
faster, stronger program. If you guys remember that, it was real popular back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but he taught us how to hang clean and he taught us how to squat. And I just took the both of those movements, man, and got really good at both of them. Uh, I got strong as heck in my lower body, man, and like I said, it made my athleticism go through the roof. Um, I can't remember the early on numbers. I mean, like most kids, you put the bar on my back, it was probably pretty ugly, but I thought I could lift everything just like anybody else when they walk in the first time, I'm sure. But by the time I left, though, I was squatting well over 500 pounds, and I had the Irmo record for hang cleans at 330. But
Mm.
Chris Woods, he actually ended up going to North Carolina a few years, like I think he came to about 5, 6 years after me, and ended up breaking it. But yeah, so by the time, like I said, by the time I left, I was really good at cleaning and squatting, and in my opinion, the two best lifts for any athlete that's trying to become stronger and more explosive.
All
Man,
right, cool.
nice.
So you started working out, you started getting stronger, you finding your way on the team, getting acquainted with all the teammates. What did you notice about your game versus the guys that were on your team? Did you notice that you were going to be captain, or did you know that you were just like right in the middle?
Well, I was a 3-year starter in high school, so like it
Exactly.
was the
Yeah.
only game I missed 3 games my entire high school career. Well, no, didn't start, I should say. My very first year in high school, my sophomore year, I did not start the game, but played from the third snap on because we had a senior that played in front of me and he dislocated his elbow. Like he basically got pancaked, I think, if I remember correctly, but tried to catch himself and
Yeah.
his dislocated his elbow. And I ended up
Mm.
starting from then on out. So then I was a puppy, bro. I didn't know no better, man. I'm out there just being a big kid, like being a big athlete, man. Like that's all I knew. So um from that standpoint, I was wet behind the ears. I thought I was a junk, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting now and all that. So um I'm sure there's a couple times some older guys probably had to remind me I was a young buck, but I never really had any issues as far as getting into stuff with people like that. But because I mean I've always carried myself, you know, with respect for other people. I mean, so, you know, you ain't got no problem with me, I ain't got no problem with you.
From with
You
you.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, like we in this thing together. Like my ultimate goal was then and always will be winning. Like so
That's right.
we teammates, we family, we riding this thing together. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, I need you, you need me. Let's go win these games. So
That's right.
um, I don't, it was a different dynamic then too. Just as far as the demographics of Irmo, especially, me being minority and just the demographic breakdown, it was different. So, you navigating those spaces too. So, um, yeah, man. Like I honestly don't ever recall any like major beefs. And by the time I was a senior, like I said, I'm obvious captain, no problem. Like I said, had made north south. By the time I was all said and done, and all the stuff to go with that. So whatever, man.
Cool,
What's up?
cool. So talk about the rival schools that you face.
Mhm.
I think what Todd Cunningham was your quarterback.
Todd was a quarterback my senior year. Yeah, he and actually David Corley was there at one
Yeah,
point too, but that's
before
a
he
whole other
transferred to
story.
Fairfield Central.
Yeah, that's a whole
He
nother
was a former
podcast.
guest
That
on the
player
show.
we, bro. Listen, I tell people all the time, right? Especially now as they look at the powerhouse that is Dutch Fork. Okay, you want to talk about
Yep.
rivals? Here's history for you.
All right.
I played in the very first scrimmage and game that ever played against Dutch Fork, and we waxed them. It took them 12 years to beat Irmo High School for the very first time. We played them boys 2 and 3 times a year, oftentimes, and they still never beat us. Now, I mean, nobody can touch them. Can't touch them now. They get all the credit in the world for what they're doing, but
Mm-hmm.
they used to be little brother. So,
Yeah.
and I know that was years ago, and I sound like an old man, but they used to be a little brother. Like I said, it took them 12 years, and I still see like some of them cats. They all over some of the forums on Facebook talking all the junk about how they powerhouse this, powerhouse that. I just
Yeah.
always smile because you couldn't do it, but anyway, yes, obviously Dutch Fork was a rival. They I saw them come into creation. And then Lexington was a big time rival for us too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we didn't mess with them necks across the bridge a whole lot. Um, and then you know, it was really just those two mainly, man. Those are the two big ones. Um, back in the region, we was, like I was texting with Jermaine earlier. I didn't get a chance to play against Woody my senior year down there at OW. Because I ended
Okay.
up being sick. I had walking pneumonia the week before, and they would not let me play, man. So, that was definitely a rivalry because at that time it was us and y'all for the region. So
Yep.
Okay.
So the JV team had a riot the night before our homecoming, your senior year,
yeah.
and I was getting word that y'all was getting rocks thrown at y'all bus.
Yeah. Oh man, now again, that was one of the things. Like, now mind you, I grew up in a single parent home, broke as heck, bro. So like, me going to Irmo had nothing to do with me having money. Like that wasn't my thing. So that was always the
I feel you.
perception of, oh, you go to the rich white school, y'all got money. So
Yeah.
everywhere we went, we got rocks thrown at us and got called
Wow.
yeah. I mean, everywhere we went, it
It's the
was like.
'90s, so
Yeah.
it's
Oh, hey,
different back
bro.
then.
LR. Yeah, yeah. They throwing rocks at the bus. When you go to
Yeah.
Hopkins, they throwing rocks at the bus.
Yeah.
Sumter, they throwing rocks at the bus.
There you go.
Like that was one of them things, bro.
Yep. Yep. So you end up going to the. You got the question, KJ?
Yeah, I was
All
gonna ask him
right.
talk a little bit more about the playing in the AllStar game, man. What was it? It
There
was
you
in
go.
Myrtle Beach, right?
Yeah, yeah. I played the North South game. Like I got for years. It was funny. I got mad about not making the Shrine Bowl because we know the Shrine Bowl was the preeminent All Star game. But it looked
Yep.
back the year I didn't go to the Shrine Bowl. Cleveland Pickney and Richard Seymour went. Both of
Yep.
them played in the league, and one of them a Hall of Famer. So I mean, I can't get but so mad that I
Yeah.
didn't make it to the Shrine Bowl. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
played in North South, and I played with 3 guys in that game that actually played in the league too. So it was a lot of fun, man. Like the experience was cool. It was actually like kind of a preparation for college because again you go from being the best player on your team to a bunch of good guys, so like practices are real competitive because guys are out there trying to get start time, trying to get
Yeah.
reps,
That's
trying
right.
to establish themselves. And man,
Mhm.
football is such a alpha male testosterone driven environment,
You got that right.
so when you out there on the field, guys are trying to set the tone, like especially trying to rep where they're from. And man, so that was real cool, man. And I mean, I still got my helmet from the game with all the stickers from people from all across the state. And it was actually funny. There's this Facebook group I'm in, man. Like it's a high school sports forum. Bro, the trash that gets talked on this thing is so funny to me. But somebody actually posted the roster from the North South game from that year. It was '96 North South game.
All
And
right.
again, going back to kind of a full circle thing, going back to the Dutch Fork rivalry, there was a guy who went to Dutch Fork and he played for the South team. And I played for the North, and we won. And he made a comment. I was like, "Hey man, that's funny. You couldn't beat me that year at all."
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. But nah, man, it was a lot of fun, man. If any, and I know they're not doing the Shrine Bowl this year. They're picking the team, but they're not playing the game. But they're still doing the North South, and there's various other All-Star games that are coming. That
I
kind
know
of
that.
created here recently. Um, so I mean, if if a kid has a chance to go, I highly recommend it. I mean, especially if you still need some more exposure because it
Yeah,
gives
that's
you a chance to play against better competition, man. And it's one of those
right.
things. It's All-Star, like I said, everybody there. It's got to be good. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, yo.
Yep. So talk about your recruiting process. You leave Irmo, you
mhm.
get letters from different schools.
Yeah.
Who's coming at Aaron Walker right now? And why was the reason you chose East Carolina?
Well, down the stretch, I mean, a bunch of schools talked to me. I had a bunch of 1AA offers. But in my mind, I was a D1 D lineman. I'm a D1 D lineman. I'm a D1 D lineman.
All right.
So, I wanted to go to Clemson. Clemson was the dream school. They never
I'm
really showed a whole lot of interest. And at the time, they had a lot of stuff going on too. That was toward the end of the was it Tommy
Tommy
West?
West.
That was
oh
toward
yeah,
the end of the
yeah,
Tommy
man.
West era when there
Yeah, it
was
was a
all
lot
kinds of
going on.
wild stuff going on,
Yeah,
on
yeah,
and off the field, I should say. So my
yeah.
mom wasn't too keen on that anyway. So
Too much to stay focused.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it came down to my last three. It was Ohio University, Wake Forest, and ECU.
Okay.
And Ohio and East Carolina both told me I was gonna play D line. And Wake Forest kept it real and was like, we probably want you to play center or guard. I was like, but
Mm.
I'm not an offensive lineman, so I ain't messing with y'all. So I ended up going to East Carolina because I went there and had a great time. If you know anything about Greenville, North Carolina, East Carolina University, you cannot
Been there.
spell parties without pirates. Okay, we have a great time. Okay,
Oh yeah.
we might lose on Saturday at the football game, but we will not lose at the football
When
tailgate.
that
Okay,
was at the party.
we will not lose there. Okay, so went up there, had a ball, and actually actually went on my official visit over my birthday weekend. So y'all know that worked out well.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Okay.
so yeah. East Carolina was fun, man. And rest in peace, Willie Scott, man. He recently passed away here. He's legendary in this state, bro. He's a Hall of Famer at University of South Carolina. Um, he
Oh
uh
yeah.
he recruited me to East
Okay.
Carolina.
All
And
right.
he actually got me my
Okay.
first college gig too down at South Carolina State, man. So rest in heaven there, like to my guy Willie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what's up, man?
So go ahead, KJ.
Man. You good?
All right. So you went to East Carolina. Back in high school, we used to go there for our camps. Steve
Mhm.
Logan. You played under Steve Logan, and he's a very intense, excited guy. Very intense.
Man,
So
hey.
talk about his coaching techniques and
Mhm.
playing offense aligned for with David Gerard being at quarterback.
Yeah, and it was funny. You was talking about the camps. David and I were actually at the same camp the summer before our senior year, and it was like a
Wow.
team camp. It was like a team camp, but they had like an all-star team, like an all-star team of guys they were really looking at that they wanted to get on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bunch of us, and we ended up calling ourselves the Hit Squad. And like 2/3 of the people on the Hit Squad actually signed that year to go to East Carolina. So we all kind of knew each other when we got there. So that was real cool. But um, like I said, Willie Scott got me up there. Met Coach Logan the Sunday. Really, the first time I really met him, I got to spend time on him was a Sunday. After my visit. And you guys probably kind of imagine how I felt going there to talk to him. And but he hit me with a real intense, now Aaron, we like you. We like you a lot. We know you got other schools, but I'm offering you right now, and you got to cancel that visit. I know you're going to Wake next week. You got to cancel it. That's exactly what he says. If you go to Wake, we're going to pull the offer. You got to cancel it. And I was like, man, you know what, Coach? I'm a pirate, baby. Let's go.
Yeah,
Like,
let's go,
take a
man.
game.
Let's go.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, playing for Logan, like, and it's one of those things you don't realize like how much somebody like does for you, or how much you appreciate what they do for you, like when you in it, you know what I mean? Like at the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
while you stewing it, you like, man,
Mhm.
this crazy Indian dude, boy, what is wrong with him, man?
Wrong
Like,
with you, man.
what did I do to you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and there was times like, cause see, um, the pit bull we had in the program was our strength coach, man. Legendary Jeff Connors, man. You know, he recently
Pitbull.
Mm.
retired, huh?
They call
Yeah,
him
he was basically
Pitbull.
a pit bull. He's basically a pit bull. That's what he was, bro.
All right.
Like he Coach Logan was sick. Coach Connors on people, and you didn't want that smoke, bro. You did not want that.
No.
You did not, no. So, you know, we had probably one of the hardest working, if not the hardest working team in the country during that time there, where I put the numbers up that we did in the weight room and on the field from a condition standpoint against anybody, bro. And that was our thing. Like we went into every game knowing two things. We were gonna be in better, we were gonna be bigger, not necessarily bigger, we were gonna be physical as heck, and we were gonna be
Yeah, they
fast.
say.
We knew that. We wasn't gonna get tired. We knew that. We knew
Yeah.
that part. And we knew our principle, number one principle, playing for Coach Logan. And I quote, you gotta be willing to put it on the last play. You gotta be willing. Most people are not willing to do it. You gotta be willing to do it. That was his thing. We would hear that all the time. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of colorful language in there that I'm trying not to curse because I'm trying, but there's a lot of
Yeah.
colorful language that he would use in there about, having the testicular fortitude to being willing to go win it on the last play of the game, because most people are not built like that. And that's
Yep.
the very clean version of what we
Yeah.
kind of live by. So we knew we were going, even when we played big schools, like we knew Sunday you were going to remember, win or loss, win or lose, you knew you were going to remember you played us. Like that was our thing. And we beat a lot of big time schools. We beat a lot of big time schools, a lot of now Power 5 schools during my tenure there. So
Yep.
that was one thing we prided ourselves on. You was gonna wake up, it's like, oh man, that boy brought it yesterday. You know what I mean? So
All right.
Hey, so
Yes,
so you
sir.
redshirted your first year, or you saw the field right away?
no, I redshirted. It was, back then, especially, it was kind of pretty much standard procedure, man. Everybody redshirted. And my freshman year, I actually played D-line still. And then, like I said, they moved me the second day of camp, my redshirt freshman year.
Okay. Well, you guys did beat a couple powerhouse teams. I got some highlights. In 1999, you played a big team by the name of University of Miami, who had a lot
September
of
25th,
stars.
1999.
Yes, sir.
Hey, the
So we're
exact
gonna go
date,
ahead
bro.
and take a look at that CNN clip. We do not own the rights to the video or the music in the clip. We just go ahead and state that. Make sure you guys subscribe and make sure you follow us on YouTube and Facebook, Deezer, and Spotify. And also cop the merch as well. We got merch online, and you can DM us for it as well. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, all right? So let's go ahead and check out this video.
Now to other top stories. Firefighters in Southern California are beginning to gain control tonight over a series of wildfires. The largest are burning near Los Angeles in the Los Padres National Forest. Sparked by lightning, the fires have already scorched 69,000 acres. In North Carolina, sunshine brought a sense of relief and receding floodwaters to the eastern lowlands, except for areas near the Tar and Neuse rivers. They are still rising. And that could be a demoralizing fact for almost 1,000 people who are in shelters for another night this evening. They know that what waits for them at their flooded homes will not be pretty. Still, people in Greenville, North Carolina are holding their heads high this week thanks to the heroics of the Eastern Carolina University football team, which had to move the biggest game of the season to higher ground and in the process lifted its game to a higher plane. Bruce Burkhardt teamed up with CNN Sports Illustrated to explain what happened.
It would have been an uphill battle, even under the best of circumstances. But now, the Pirates of East Carolina University, already battered by the raging waters of Hurricane Floyd, were on the verge of getting smacked by another hurricane.
Reggie Wayne for a Miami touchdown.
The Miami Hurricanes, the 9th-ranked team in the country and a perennial football power. Underdogs already, East Carolina A university of 18,000 couldn't even play the game in its home stadium as originally scheduled. Because of the devastation back home in Greenville, the game had to be moved 80 miles to the west, to the home field of their arch rival, North Carolina State in Raleigh.
Miami up 16-0 now.
If things were going badly over in Raleigh, it was nothing compared to the problems back home here in Greenville. But still, many of the 47,000 who would have filled this stadium last Saturday night weren't at home mopping up raw sewage or filling out FEMA forms. They were in Raleigh.
We could just hear the crowd cheering, and it was just hitting everybody in the locker room. They were like, "Do you hear that? Do you hear that? That's for y'all. They're cheering for y'all." It was something spiritual. I mean, it was amazing. It was like a power was over the stadium. It was the loudest stadium I've ever heard.
If anybody could have used a little diversion, it was the people of eastern North Carolina. 15 inches of rain in 12 hours. 48 people killed statewide. Thousands left without a place to live, including some 2,500 students at the university. You have to have that mask on?
Yeah, it is.
Why is it that bad?
It's very mildewy.
Mildewy?
Yeah, mildewy and just totally nasty.
And over at Denny's, Marjorie Wilson wears a helicopter pin, a reminder of the one that rescued her from her house, which has since been condemned.
No, we had to watch it. We had to watch it. It was 6 o'clock. We were like, okay, got to watch the game.
Your house is underwater?
Yeah, and we went to my mom-in-law's, and we still watched the game.
Okay.
But not all felt the same as Marjorie. Given all the tragedy and all the work that needed to be done, there was talk that this was no time to be playing a football game. In fact, it was the talk of the town on Henry Hitton's call-in radio show, who heard that sentiment from even the most diehard of fans.
I remember the emotion in his voice. He was so kind of shaken by what was going on around him that he's like, look, no one loves East Carolina football more than me, but it's just not right to play this game right now. I mean, he meant that from the bottom of his heart.
And concentrating on a football game was not easy for the players either. Stranded in a hotel in Columbia, South Carolina, where they had played the Saturday before, the floods prevented them from returning home. They were left to watch and worry.
One day during that week, we got the USA Today, and on the front of the USA Today is Wyndham Circle, where Travis Mazik and Ernie Powell and Kevin Ward stay, and, you know, all the apartments were underwater, and it was just like a crushing blow.
I'm real anxious to get over there and see if I can just save anything of value, sentimental value.
It was only just this week that defensive back Travis Mazik finally got home to check out the damage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's my picture.
That's your mom?
Yeah, that's my mom and me, so.
But for Travis, the other players, and all those who watched or listened on that Saturday night, overcoming adversity wasn't a cliche. It was the only thing left to believe in.
I mean, we were down 20 to zip, and they were screaming like we were up 20 to zip. They just had some energy about them that was different.
Down 20 points to one of the best teams in the country, the odds of a comeback are about the same as the Tar River drying up overnight. And then it happened. The East Carolina Pirates rallied to score the last 24 points of the game.
What an incredible comeback by the East Carolina Pirates.
I've had people come up to me and just tears in their eyes and just break down crying, saying thank you, because it gave them a relief to get away from what's going on here.
We cried, you know, for our loss. We cried, and then with the game we cheered up. And we're doing better, and we're coping every day.
I got a letter today. I lost it all, but what you did Saturday was restored my hope and faith.
I just think they picked up the whole region and put all of us on their backs and showed us, you know, that you can overcome adversity.
For our team to come back and compete the way that they did this last Saturday night, somebody needs to get in here and make a movie out of this.
Maybe somebody will, but before that happens, East Carolina has to play out the rest of its schedule. First, Army. That game is this weekend up at West Point.
man.
Yes, sir. We back.
Back,
So
man.
talk about those times, man. Those are really
Bro.
tough times, and you got some loyal East Carolina fans. They lost their house, you know what I mean? And everybody just says nothing we can do. Let's just go watch the game or go to the game. So talk about that day and what you remember about that evening.
So like real talk, like before you even play the clip, I can recount the exact date for you, right? Like,
yep,
that's how big of a moment that was for me. Like personally, just from a personal standpoint, like I joke with my wife, like prior, before the birth of my kids, that was the greatest day of my life. I like mess with her. Like that was actually the first time my wife, now wife, then girlfriend, actually met my mom for the first time. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff surrounding that date. But like, so
wow.
the hurricane happened the week before, right? So we actually played South Carolina down here the week before. And that's why we were actually stranded in Columbia that entire week. We had to prep for Miami. And so like
That's right.
Thursday, the hurricane hits, like Wednesday night, Thursday morning. And we have practice still. And I'll never forget, like my crazy tale is trying to drive in a hurricane to get to breakfast because I didn't want to get in trouble. Because I didn't want to get in trouble. Bro, no, I didn't know. So obviously it didn't happen then. Got back home. We ended up having practice later on that day. The flooding is getting ready. The flooding is starting. We didn't know this. Like we as players had no idea all of this was going on. But all of us talked about it, and we remember to this day there was a sudden urge to get us out of town on Friday. They were like, we had a real quick walkthrough. We got to go. We got to go. So boom, they get us out of town on Friday. Play South Carolina. I was actually captain. The first time I was ever captain in my college career was at the South Carolina game. My 99 was my first year starting. So captain that week or whatever. We played a game. We beat South Carolina. Normally, we leave right after the game. We sitting up there. Coach calls us up. We still have, like, for the most part, have no idea this stuff's going on back at home because, hey, kids, cell phones didn't always exist. So, like, you couldn't just call your girl and be like, baby, what's going on? Like, people had to call you. And then if you're in a hotel, you might not have the landline number. You know what I mean? So it's a whole lot. Anyway, long story short, we didn't know. So on the front end, we didn't know. So nobody brought any clothes to pack. And because we come down Friday, win, take your trap, leave, but we couldn't. Coach, like, can't go back home. It's unsafe. Like, the stuff going on, floodings happen. Like, we couldn't do it. So we all like flooding, like, what's going on? So then people scrambling, trying to call back, find out what's going on. Like they said in the news story, we end up on CNN because the flooding was that bad. Like, it was really bad throughout Eastern North Carolina. Like, we end up finding out, a couple of my classmates, their entire apartment all the way underwater. Like, by the time it's all said and done, when we get back after we beat Miami, it's like 23, 24, something like that. Guys, like, completely lost everything. Like, you mean all your stuff, everything's gone. Like, nothing you can do. We had no choice. Like, there was nothing we could do. Like, some people tried to prep a little bit, but like, really wasn't nothing we could do. Like, just lost everything, man. And so we down here in Columbia that week, with no scout team. It's just the guys that traveled. So practice was really kind of weird. First of all, like, guys are really down here with nothing. We out here with our travel suit, and that's it. Like, I joked around because I'm from Columbia. I was cool. So my mama brought me some drawers and stuff. I was good. Like, so, but like, my teammates, man, around there free balling. Ain't nobody got no underwear. Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? So, but we still practicing, eating at the hotel. Like, that week was kind of rough. And, the Columbia, even though we beat South Carolina the week before, they were really supportive and helped us out, with allowing us use their facilities because didn't change the schedule. We still lifted weights like we were supposed to. We still did everything. Like, because like I said, we had a bulldog for a strength coach. He wasn't playing. Like, we still did all that stuff like normal. So that week was kind of weird. But then, we playing number 19, number 9 team in the country. I mean, Miami, they got not only
Right.
NFL guys, they got Hall of Famers on that roster. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
we just, little East Carolina, we've been literally displaced for an entire week. Like I said, your entire groove's thrown off. Our only day off is funny. Like you guys, you remember you play college ball, so you get the one mandatory day off a week, right? Our
Yep.
day off that week was Friday when we traveled to go because we end up playing that game because we was actually supposed to host them in Greenville. Unsafe to go back to Greenville, so we had to go back to Miami. I mean, we ended up playing in Raleigh, which East Carolina hates any ACC school, period. That was like a thing too. We hated all things ACC because they looked down their nose at us and treated us like the little brother over in the corner. So all things ACC we hated, and we stomped the ACC anytime we got the chance. But anyway, so we again, one of those situations where we come in your trap, take over your trap. We go to Carter Fickley Stadium and basically turn that into East Carolina West, and we ended up beating Miami. We was down 20-0 at one point, and ended up kicking a field goal, like one of the big plays, momentum plays. You know how you remember stuff. We kicked a field goal right before the half, and we moved the ball that drive like it was nothing. And I'll never forget, my left tackle screwed up on the slide protection, and we had a blitz come off. He didn't slide off and get the linebacker, and Dave ended up getting sacked, and we ended up having to kick a field goal. But we scored right before half, and that was just a big confidence boost for us, bro. And then we came out second half. Our defense balled, son. I'm talking about ball. Forrest Foster, he actually went to Daniel High School right up the road in South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm talking about cuffs on Reggie Wayne and Santana Moss. Like, you can look it up. Second half, cuff them dudes, bro. I'm talking about straight cuff. Forrest Foster is one of the illest corners I've ever seen in my life. He's one of the best athletes I've ever been around. He was just 5'8", 5'9". That was the problem. Like, he was raw. I'm telling you, Forrest Foster. He's in the Hall of Fame at Daniel High School, bro. He is raw. But we end up coming back, beating them in the second half. What was 20? I want to say it was we ended up winning by 4. I'm drawing a blank on the score all of a sudden, but we ended up winning by 4. And crowd rushed the field, man, tore down the goalposts in somebody else's stadium. Like, it was so trill, man, like, and so crazy, and all the emotions. And like I said, man, like, we ended up having to beat 2 hurricanes that week, because the week before we lost everything in the hurricane, and then had to beat Miami Hurricanes on the field. And so, we got all the emotions of it. Like I said, my wife meeting my mom for the first time after the game. You got all that. Then it starts raining. We got to get on the bus. We got to go back home and face reality, bro. Like, so you got this high of the high, like this joyous moment, man. Like, yo, we just beat the number 9 team in the country. Everybody watch it, da-da-da-da. And you get on the bus, it starts raining. Like, literally, like, this is no joke. It starts pouring down raining. We getting on the bus, like, reminding you, like, yo, it's still real. You still got to go face this misery. I know you got this joy, but like, literally 20 something of my teammates literally lost everything they own. But the people of Greenville, man, and the Pirate supporters had it laid up for them, man. Like, got back, they already had apartments set up for those guys, so it wasn't like they was displaced. But I mean, it was so surreal, bro. Like, all the emotions that go in it, like, I still get chills anytime I talk about it. Like, it was a few years ago, my first year coaching, just kind of build with my kids. Like, we start talking. I actually end up bringing the clip up, like bringing the game up. Like, I mean, I still, man, yeah, that was a great moment, man, really and truly.
All right, I was glad to provide that for you. So, talk about the bowl games a little bit. You went to 3 of them while you was at East Carolina.
Yeah,
just name the bowl games that you played in, the wins and losses, and the experience that you had.
Well, I think all 3 of the bowl games I played in actually don't exist anymore. Man, bowl games change like nothing. Went to 3 bowl games, like I said, went 1-2 in them. Lost to LaDainian Thomason and TCU in '99. That '99 team that we were just talking about. We lost to them down there.
Your audio went out. There you go.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I think I actually unplugged it. TCU had LaDainian Thomason in '99. We lost to them. They had probably the strongest dude ever played against ever. I can't remember Buddy's name, but I could not move him, bro. I swear to God. We were in zone, and I cut him on the front side because I just knew I couldn't move him. I said, he ain't going to push me back. I'm just going to cut him. But as cardinal rule number 1, you can't cut on the front side because you end up creating a pile anyway, right? But I'm like, nah, he not going to push me back. But anyway, so, yeah, and so we ended up playing in Mobile, Alabama twice. My sophomore year and my senior year, we ended up playing there. Lost to TCU the first time, and lost to Marshall the second time in what was the highest scoring bowl game in college football history until recently. Which, God, that game sucked. But in between there, we actually went to Houston and beat Texas Tech down in Houston, and they had the Cliff Kingsbury was our quarterback, and Wes Walker was on the team. So, but the Marshall team had Byron Leftwich and yeah, they had Byron Leftwich, and they came back in the second half to beat us, and we lost. I think it was 64-61, I think.
Okay. Wow, that was a big shootout. Was that the game they had to carry him off the field?
Nah, that wasn't the one. I wish it was. He said, man, you know, bro, like I said, I hate losing. I told y'all this earlier on. I kind of hold on to grudges, and he said something real slick after the game, and it just to this day, man, you know.
Okay.
Man.
Go ahead, KJ.
Hey, I got you. Hey, talk about the importance of communicating on the offensive line, man. Make sure you got the right
listen, there's nothing you can't play without communicating on the offensive line. Like that unit, and it has to be a cohesive unit in order to play. Like it just don't work.
Gotta work together. That's right.
I tell my kids, and they think I'm lying, like, and they're starting to believe me, and we've actually started to play a little bit better. Like, I would rather you over communicate to the point where the defense almost exactly knows what we're running, as long as we don't screw it up. Because the thing is, if we all do our jobs, it don't matter if they know what's coming. They can't stop it.
Stop it. There you go.
And so the perfect analogy, I think, in my mind, we want the offensive lineman to be a fist, all right? Because there's 5 fingers on the fist, right? 5 positions.
There you go.
So what happens if one dude's not doing their job and I go to punch something?
Oh, man.
I'm going to break my finger.
That's right.
So in order to punch a hole in the defense, I got to make a fist. I can't have my thumb out. I can't have no fingers out, because when I go to punch, I'm going to break something.
That's
but
right.
If I want to punch through the defense like the offensive line is supposed to, I got to make that fist. So
that's right, man.
There you go.
That's a good one.
So, you guys watching, you hearing some techniques from a former defensive lineman that's still coaching. Pick up a little bit that you can. So talk about transitioning from football. Did you have a pro day or anything like that? Did you try out? I know you went overseas and played in Germany, so you could talk about that.
I actually, when the scouts came through, I was actually on crutches because my dumb tail was playing pickup basketball 2 weeks before the scouts game.
Wow.
So
man,
I went up, got a rebound.
You trying to stay in shape though.
But there was more effective ways of doing it. I was taking the easy route out, man. That's all. I mean, hey, again, retrospect, hindsight 2020. I definitely made some mistakes, and during that time frame of my life, for sure. Not beginning or ending with going to play pickup basketball 2 weeks before the scouts came. Fellas, listen, leave basketball alone when it comes time to really, really focus on football.
That's right.
You just one ankle sprain away from everything being screwed up. Trust me.
Or blowing your knee out.
Right. Or blowing your knee out worse. Like I guess that's even right. I got lucky. I just rolled my ankle. But yeah, so I literally on crutches though, had a real bad ankle sprain. And I ended up going overseas, which was a great experience. Football was not great, but the experience was, I would nothing I wouldn't get back for that, man. Like, it was absolutely awesome. And that's something I would highly recommend to anybody listening. If you get the opportunity to travel to another country and spend any substantial amount of time, or even just a little bit of time, do it. Okay. I listen, America is great. We have a lot of awesome things that we do in this country,
Right.
but we're not as good as we really think we are. American exceptionalism and all that. I got one of my oldest friends in the world, man. He actually played against y'all on that '99 team.
Oh,
He's
okay.
American exceptionalism is one of his favorite things to say, bro. And I'm like, man, look, we great, but bro, you just got to experience it from the other side and just see. So, my experience in Germany was outstanding. It helped actually shape my worldview a whole lot, man. Helped me see things a lot differently. When I came back, I immediately got into coaching, pretty much. I mean, I hit the ground running as soon as I got back. I started coaching. Actually came back to Irmo just for that season, and then I was a teacher's assistant in the spring, and then started coaching in college at South Carolina State summer of 2003.
Okay, cool. So talk about coaching. That was Buddy Pugh second year, right?
Yep, that's when he was first getting down there.
Coach for the Dogs.
Yeah.
So you were helping out while Derek was still playing, or that was the year after
Derek had already graduated by the time I got there, because Derek graduated. I think he actually graduated that spring, maybe. I think I just missed him, but anyway, Coach Pugh actually remembered me from my playing days at Irmo when he was at Fairfield, and remember how difficult it was to block me. And like I said, Coach Scott was down there, and I was just trying to get in the game, man. Like, I knew coaching was gonna be my thing. Like I said, I couldn't picture a life without football. So I was trying to get on as a GA on the football field. Like, I wanted to go ahead and start coaching ball. But they had a need in the weight room. And again, I attribute my athletic success in high school to what the weight room did for me. And I was like, well, it's an opportunity for me to get my foot in the door. I can start this college thing. Talking to my high school coaches, they were all like, if you want to coach in college, you got to go coach in college. Like, there ain't a whole lot of guys, go to high school and then make that jump. Like, it's happening a little bit more now, but back then, bro, you were either a high school coach or a college coach. Like, it wasn't no back and forth like that. If guys were coaching in college and then now they coach in high school, that means they couldn't get a job. That's pretty much what it was. So I just made the decision then. They needed somebody in the weight room. I just jumped in. Basically, just like jumping in the water, bro. Just not even looking, just jump. And then, here I am, fresh out of college, 22 years old, in the weight room, trying to get these kids to respect me and not fight nobody because I don't know no better. You know what I mean? Because I'm really just one of y'all. Like, I was just in your shoes. So, it was a great experience, man. I had to learn a lot on the fly, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, it was one of those things, man. And my man Buddy Pugh, boy, I got some stories about Buddy.
Yeah.
You going to the I think he won the MEAC this year, and they might be playing in the national championship. I think they got one more game against Norfolk State. So this is his last year. So I think he's about to go out with a bang.
Is he retiring? Is he retiring?
Yep.
Oh, that's what's up, man. I was actually
last year.
I was talking to somebody here recently about that. I was like, yeah, because he been there, Buddy been there now. Like I said, so I mean, I'm talking about the start of my career there in 2003. So I mean, he's coming up on 20 years there. So yeah, man, that's good.
He's
for
been
him,
there
man.
for 20 years.
Yeah, that's good for him. That's great.
Yep. So you left South Carolina State and you went on to coach volleyball, right?
No. I was a college strength coach from 03 until 2015. So my path was I actually left South Carolina State to go to Chapel Hill. I got my first assistant job there. My former college strength coach, Coach Connors, the aforementioned Pitbull that I was talking about, he needed an assistant. And he hired me to come up there. And so I was there with him for about a year and a half in North Carolina. where we actually beat Miami when I was there too. So
Okay.
I got a pretty good record against Miami. Uh, um, but yeah, which that was a great experience because it let me see like what it was like to be a part of a big budget, big money program. Um, like, bro, when I tell y'all, and you can talk to Derek about this too, because I got Derek a gig up there. You can talk to Derek about this.
All right.
The gear we got at that place, crazy, like crazy, bro, crazy. Like I ended up getting a head job at Elon. That was a year and a half after that, right? And so part of the motivation there was my girlfriend, now wife, was pregnant and had my son. And so when I ended up taking the job there, we literally sold Carolina gear on eBay for like the first month and a half to help pay bills, like because she wasn't working. Because I mean, childcare, man. If you got kids, bro,
Oh yeah.
you working to pay for the babysitter unless you're taking care of the kids. So,
Right.
and my first head job, and dirty secret and all of this is strength coaches don't make money. Like they really don't. They low man on the totem pole as far as salary goes. So I wasn't making a whole lot trying to feed 3 people. So yeah, man, we were selling Carolina gear to help pay money, like pay the bill. So that's how so that's what it was like to be a part of that program. Like the first day I walked in there, I got like 2 Gore-Tex suits, like 2 different Gore-Tex rain suits, like 5 different polos, 3 different pairs of shoes, like 4 different work. Like, God, dog, I got a whole wardrobe just for showing up to work.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
and so, and then dealing with, a bunch of guys that end up, training, working with a bunch of guys, end up going to the league. When I first got there, Willie Parker was actually prepping for the NFL.
All
So I
right.
got to see him up close and personal before he went on to play for my Steelers and, win that Super Bowl for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So, being a part of that program was cool, although it's somewhat like sleeping with the enemy, because like I said, we don't like the ACC in over at East Carolina. So it was, yeah. So that was an adjustment. But from the standpoint of being a part of that big program and just seeing, really how they do things, man, like money's really not a problem or an issue when you start talking about those big time schools. And so, you know, I'm glad that those kids are not getting some kind of money from these institutions in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because they get paid, bro. When I tell you them schools make money, they make
Yes,
money.
sir.
They
Yeah.
make money. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Where you coaching at now?
I'm actually an offensive line coach at Irmo High School now. I got out of the college. I got out of the college racket in 2015 after I actually had I was an assistant at East Carolina again. I went back home. I kind of do that a lot, I guess. But I went home for about 3 years back in Greenville, and just, man, I got 3 kids, and so just the college racket, bro, it just got to be too much, man. Like just the grind, the constant grind.
Yeah.
I actually, came to a realization. Uh, we played in a bowl game when I was coaching. So, we traveled with football for the bowl game. Um, we played the game on the 23rd, I want to say. Or yeah, we came back on the 23rd or something like that, late on the 23rd. So I ended up traveling on the 24th to go be with my family.
Okay.
And then so I had the 24th, 25th, and then had to come back to work on the 26th to go train women's basketball. And I was like, nah, this ain't it, bro. Like, I got 3 kids. No, this ain't it. So that's when I realized, like, I got to get out somehow, some way. So I ended up getting a strength coach job at Gaffney High School up in the upstate here in South Carolina
Yeah.
in 2015. And so that's how, I kind of got out of the college game.
Okay.
Okay. So talk about your off-season training camp that you run.
I'm like I said, 15 years as a strength conditioning coach. So, I got a lot of knowledge, especially as it relates to position specific work with any position on the football field. So I actually personal train people out of Athletes Arena in Valentine here, pretty much right outside of Columbia, Irmo area. but I'll pull up on you wherever, bro. Like that's just my thing, man. If you want to work, I'll work with you. Like, you know, I firmly believe in getting people bigger, faster, and stronger. And the only way to do it is by, putting in the work. I can give you the plan. If you're willing to work, we'll make you better. I mean, that's just pretty much it, man. And yeah, got a little LLC, the Walker Way, that I started during COVID. And like I said, really kind of got serious about trying to personal train people and just use my knowledge from my previous experience to be able to help develop athletes and, work with soccer moms or whoever, bro. So
that's right, man. Hey, any message for the youth?
Like this is the realest thing I could tell you to anybody, and this is any walk of life, especially the young people. It don't pay to peak and be popular right now because 5 years it ain't gonna matter. And
Wow.
that's the realest thing. It's really not gonna matter. A lot of the stuff that you sweating and seems like it's the biggest thing in the world right now, 5 years from now it's not gonna matter.
Really?
So little buddy over there that's talking junk that you think about throwing your future away for, 5 years from now it ain't gonna matter unless you decide to throw your future away. And that's the thing. Those decisions, and it's part of what I'm teaching with my virtual PE stuff because I'm a virtual PE teacher. It's the decisions you make, man. Like, think back, don't react. Okay, don't react to stuff. Respond. There's a big difference. If I'm reacting, okay, there's probably some emotion behind it, okay? But if I respond, I probably took a second to think about what I was doing before I did it. So,
man, good stuff.
React, don't react, respond, all right? And 5 years from now, it won't matter.
It won't matter. That's right.
There you go. Any shout outs to any former teammates, family, or friends, or anything like that? Anybody that helped you along your journey?
Man, bro, it's gonna be tough for me to list people. Like I hate
so many.
Man, because obviously the entire coaching staff that got me as a knuckleheaded, probably on my way to make some of those bad decisions I was just talking about. I know from personal experience, you can end up. I was lucky and very fortunate that Coach Hannah and Coach Strange and Coach Curlings, those guys grabbed me, saw a little bit of ability in me, and saw the potential that I did not see in myself. Because school was always easy, you know what I mean? So the school part was simple, and just the football part, they had to make sure I stayed focused and did what I was supposed to do. So obviously, shouts out to them, and anybody that played with me know when I say foot fire, they know what that means. So anybody can respond to that gets all the love, and they know what it is. And obviously, to my beautiful wife and family, y'all the reason why I do what I do. So
that's right.
That's it.
And I appreciate my man Derek too, man, for putting me on, man. I've had a great time chatting with y'all boys, man. It's been awesome.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. No problem. More than welcome to come back to the shop, give us some more advice. We're doing this for the kids, just showing them the pathway to success and, how to stay out of trouble. Just give them some success stories from some people around the way that's close by so they can follow. For the people that don't know you, go ahead and drop your Instagram and social media and your your organization links. There you go.
All right, there you go.
Just keep it simple, baby.
That's
Walker,
right, man.
Aaron Walker, CSCS, baby. That all those letters mean is I know what I'm talking about. That's all that means. But now, man, I'm the Walkaway 77 on Instagram. That's my professional one. If you want to hit me up, serious cell numbers 803-386-8614. Twitter, Coach A Walker 77. All right. If you need anything, for real, youngins, don't be scared to holler at me, man. If kids are hearing this message, you're why I do this. Okay. I know I coach kids here personally. I might not know you from a can of paint, but if I can help you in any way, don't hesitate. Okay. Like I said, that's why I do this. This is why we're here. I want to help people. Somebody help me, grab me at the right time and change my life because I was well on my way to being a no good somebody. I can promise you. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful for people like who like myself now, who, you know, I'm here for you. So like I said, I put that up there again for you.
That's right, man.
The walk
Yes, sir.
away. The walk away. Holla at your boy. The walker way.
Yeah. Keep
All
doing
right.
your thing, man. Proud of you.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate
Hey,
you
and if
coming
y'all
on,
got
Aaron.
if y'all need anything, holla at me. I got you, man.
Yeah, of course. You know it. Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show.
man.
You know, for all the inspiration, advice, and also letting the kids know how to stay focused. Just like I said, you know, we all from the same area, kind of played against each other. You know, end up coming back to the same place that we grew up and giving back right now. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing what you bring to the table.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you guys, man. Such a small world, man. I actually talked to Jackie the other day too, bro. It's such a small world, man. Gosh, it's such a small world, bro.
Me and Jackie went to church together growing up as kids and played in Pop Warner together.
Yeah. Hey, last thing, because I know I talk, bro, but here's another just a real big indication how it's a really small world, right? You know how you said I went and played in Germany? So I go to Germany, and I'm like, boom. I'm across the country completely. Man, nobody gonna know me over here. I can do whatever I want, be who I want, you know, that whole persona change. I go out to hang out one night and I hear across the bar, Irmo, which back in like if you in Greenville, North Carolina, nobody knows me as Aaron Walker. I am Irmo. Like that's long story behind that, but anyway, I hear Irmo. Like, what the hell? Who don't call my roommate from college is over there playing in the World League. And so I'm like, man, I come all the way across the world trying to get away from y'all, and my freaking roommates here. So you can't run away from it, man. Small world, bro. Small world.
It is.
The universe don't lie, man. For real.
Small world, man. We all
wasn't
connected,
meant
bro.
for you, won't miss you at all.
We just don't realize it. We all connected, man. We all connected. Just don't realize it.
Yep. Yes, sir. Well, you guys are just tuning into a new edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter. I'd like to thank my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ, and today's special guest, former Irmo standout, former East Carolina offensive lineman, and he's former Germany football, Canadian League, three-time MVP as well. Y'all didn't know that. Defensive MVP at that. Aaron Walker. We appreciate you, Aaron. Come back and see us, man. And for everybody that's watching, make sure you subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Deezer, and Spotify. And it's not how you start, it's how you finish. All right.
I like that tagline too, bro. Dope
tagline. Y'all be safe, wear your mask, and we'll see you next time. Okay. Peace.